ShivaLeela Allen. Let's talk about it 2.0. I am so happy to be your hostess today and welcome into my metaverse space and podcast audio. Now, today we have a special topic and we're going to jump right into it right after we play a little bit of sounds and allow everyone to enter the room respectfully. I hope everyone's been having an awesome day. And I'll hop back in as soon as everyone acquaints themselves with the space. And I make sure that everyone has a seat here at the couch so that we can get prepared for today's discussion. Peace and blessings. And here we are. I am surprising everyone with live footage. I don't know if you guys ever minted an NFT and been that excited, but here I am live minting the 32nd annual fire dance by me, your girl ShivaLeela Allen. I am your hostess today, and this is me live minting. So you are experiencing some live footage, one-on-one, never before seen. And also I have some awesome news. You see here, I have created a POAP for you. A POAP, or Proof of Attendance Protocol, or NFT, is given away to prove attendance to an event. If you've collected POAPs, you might want to transfer them to your MetaMask. So please join the weekly MetaMask Metacasting Web3 events with me during SNL Let's Talk About It 2.0 with your hostess, ShivaLeela Allen. Please join the Discord. Our next event is December 3rd, 2022. In order to ensure that my community receives their incentive, please have your cryptocurrency wallet set up and be sure to scan the QR code that I provide every Saturday night live after we finish with our discussions.
Peace and blessings.
Here you see me premiering your hostess, ShivaLeela Allen, here in the all white. And I'm premiering a fire dance. Never before done. I've rehearsed a few times, maybe one time with fire.
There we go.
And the rest just improvised. I am gracing the stage with Tanya, another anchor, and Suzanne. And these girls are community members of the dance farm all over Arizona. Here's some of the tools and props you see are fire swords, small fire sticks, and fire fans. I am in the far back to the left. And of course, you have us gracing the streets of Bisbee, Arizona. We are always safe, so of course there are firemen present during this performance. And like I said, this was the premiere of myself, your girl ShivaLeela Allen, and your hostess performing with live fire. This was during the Festival of Lights. And during this day, a lot of people come out to celebrate the new season of the holidays. That is why you see all of the colorful lights and, of course, the amazing fire. People are viewing on the streets, off of their balconies. There are street viewers, and there are people who just always come every year. But this was the 32nd annual year and my first time performing with fire, and I was super honored as I spin and twirl. I'm doing moves that are up and down, and I'm making sure that the flow and the wind is moving the flames just as right as I need them to be. Here you see Tanya, another dance veteran in the belly dance world, and again fire dancer with Suzanne in the far back. Amazing. And you only learn from the best. Been dancing with these ladies for about a year, but this is my first time with fire, and you will see me sprint out from the left side very shortly while the dance continues. Dance, music, and artists can be found in the bio description. And you see me here spinning, doing lots of shoulder pops and shimmies here. The shimmies are just to remind everyone that this is all tribal and improvised, and that the flames are all controlled by self. And this is how we end. And I blow the flames out and I get ready for the next performance. I'm so grateful that you guys were able to witness that amazing dance. Thank you. A History of the Flow Arts, Part 2. Fire Spinning and the Flow Culture by a gentleman by the name of Drex Factor POI. And you can subscribe to him easily by just subscribing to his YouTube. But I chose this video to break down the history of fire dancing. And so some of the things and points that Mr. Drex points out that I want to point emphasis on throughout this video is the flow spinning and the flow culture, the Burning Man's Art Festival, which was really kind of inspired by an American Samoan native, Freddie Lee Tooley, and this was around 1949. Open source sharing, innovation, the use of props for social connection, and the emphasis on meditative qualities. These are all things that I feel are super important in the dance world. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
Hi, I'm Drex. In the last video, we talked a little bit about the history of the different props that have become a part of the flow arts world. Today, we're going to talk about how the flow arts emerged from a wide range of diverse sources, including festival culture, philosophy, and the emergence of the internet. I think it's fair to say that one of the most powerful events that led to the formation of the modern flow arts world happened when modern-day fire spinning was born in 1946. A Samoan fire knife dancer by the name of Freddie Latuli borrowed elements of a fire eater's act to incorporate into his own at a Shriners convention. His act was a massive hit. He went on to star in several movies and perform all over the world. He also started a tradition that would eventually become a core element of the flow arts world, converting a prop for use with fire. Though a popular form of entertainment in the early 20th century, circus was also undergoing a massive series of changes. Concerns of animal welfare and changing audience tastes had led to dwindling attendance in the latter part of the 20th century. By the 1970s, a new generation of performers shed many of the traditional elements of circus to put acrobats, dancers, and jugglers together into a new type of show, dubbed Nouveau Cirque or Contemporary Circus. Instead of a multiple ring venue that featured dozens of acts developed within families of performers, Nouveau Cirque took artists trained in formal schools and integrated them tightly into a theatrical context that featured coherent themes or narrative. The most famous example of this new approach to circus is Montreal-based entertainment company Cirque du Soleil, which popularized the use of aerial silks, though hundreds of other companies and troupes all over the world also make use of the genre. In the 1980s, juggling went through a radical shift thanks to the work of MacArthur Genius Grant recipient Michael Motion. Motion combined juggling with dance and performance art to create performances that employed a diverse range of different props, pushing the boundaries of what could be considered a prop and how a performer could move with it. Many of Motion's innovations, including contact juggling and S-stabs, are still a fixture of the flow arts world to this very day. Meanwhile, the worlds of juggling and mathematics were merging as a system for juggling notation, called site swap, was developed simultaneously by teams in the United States and the UK. This innovation led both to easier methods for disseminating information about different juggling patterns, as well as systems for developing new ones. One of the major actors that introduced prop spinning to a wider audience was the jam band The String Cheese Incident. One of the hallmarks of their live performances was throwing adult-sized hula hoops into the audience, inviting them to hoop to the music. One such fan was a woman named Anna Reichenbach, who would eventually popularize hooping for adults under the label hoop dance to distinguish it from the hula hoops that most children play with. For most of the latter part of the 20th century, there were a wide variety of performance traditions, with various props that were more or less isolated from each other. But this began to change with the emergence of large-scale counterculture events and music festivals. One major example was the Burning Man Arts Festival here in the United States. Burning Man and other transformational events attracted artists and performers from all over the world and mixed them in with average folk who had an open mind and a love for trying new things. It also encouraged a type of performance that blurred the lines between professional and amateur, between performer an audience. Attendees to these events would seek to learn how to take up these performance styles and take them home to work on in their spare time. These people then planted the seeds for emerging communities all over the country that would make fire spinning, and eventually unlit prop spinning, a tool for creating social networks as well as personal fulfillment. In many ways, you can think of the flow arts as being something like an uprooted tree, with threads of martial arts, dance, circus, and other arts all converging into not just an art, but also a philosophy, and then diverging back again in a variety of different directions. These threads converge on a shared set of values that includes an open source collaborative style of innovation, the use of props for social and recreational purposes, and finally, an emphasis on personal or group meditation through prop spinning. As these communities grew, so too did their demand for safe props and new ways to connect with other people. One example was a company called Infinity Toys, founded by Kurt Sonderegger. In addition to producing a line of consumer poi called Zuni Poi, he also started a series of social meetups for people interested in spinning props. This free-frame prop spinning is a social activity rather than as a sport or a performance art. It was through these meetups, called spin jams, that many of the people who would later become a part of San Francisco's burgeoning flow art scene would meet and become inspired, and the idea was exported to other communities all over the country. In 1998, Home of Poi was founded in Christchurch, New Zealand. In addition to fire spinning supplies, the company posted video tutorials on its site and hosted a forum system that was a place for people all over the world to exchange ideas, becoming the center of the world's fire spinning culture for the better part of a decade. Meanwhile, in the United States, hooping.org was founded in 2003, both as an online forum and content aggregator for the emerging hoop community. In Europe, this type of synthesis was occurring at juggling and circus festivals, which swelled to attendance in the tens of thousands. The European Juggling Convention, staged yearly in different cities across Europe, has become an annual pilgrimage for prop spinners and fire dancers from all over the world. Then in 2004, a festival was started in California called Fire Drums. It was an event that was different from the ones that came before it in that it focused completely on fire spinning. During the day, attendees went to workshops taught by professional performers or teachers traveling from abroad. At night, the event featured a fire circle in which attendees could spin fire without any formal schedule, stage, or requirements, making it a social event rather than a performance. It was a model that was soon repeated at other locations all over the United States and eventually the world, offering weekend-long retreats to hobbyists who took up the art. A full list and calendar of these festivals can be found on my website. As this culture of hobby fire spinners expanded, they shifted the focus of studying these movement arts from developing acts or creating performances to spinning purely for the sake of enjoying the experience of it. Amid this change, the concept of flow began to take root in the community. The concept is borrowed from the work of psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, who sought to describe the state of losing oneself completely in a task. For many of these hobbyists, the point of spinning a prop was to find your flow, to lose yourself completely in the act of spinning, whether with fire or not. At the same time, the rise of social media began allowing independent content creators to find an audience. One of the biggest shifts happened in 2005. With the founding of YouTube. The price of video cameras dropped rapidly, and broadband internet became more widely available, leading to an explosive growth in prop spinning videos on the platform. This created a generation of YouTube stars, including Nick Woolsey, Zan Moore, and MCP, who went on to travel and teach all over the world. One of the most influential stars of this social media revolution was Burning Dan Gordon-Levitt, a fire dancer from Los Angeles who approached spinning not just as a performance art or a hobby, but as a philosophy with tangible benefits to the psyche. Sadly, Burning Dan passed away in 2010, but lives on as one of the most influential figures in the emergence of the flow arts. In recent years, the flow arts have diversified dramatically. Flow artists today use a wide variety of props, including poi, hoop, staves, fans, rope darts, swords, whips. The list goes on and keeps expanding every year. They've even invented brand new props or found new twists on old ones, such as puppy hammers or levy wands. The use of the term flow arts as a label and the philosophy associated with it are most popular in the United States. In many other parts of the world, the philosophical split associated with the flow arts never occurred. So the practice of spinning with props is still focused on performance, and in most cases is considered an offshoot of circus or part of nouveau cirque. There are also many flow artists who wish to bring their art back into a more formal setting and are working to reintegrate themselves with the circus or juggling world. As of last year, the Fire and Flow Festival circuit includes more than 50 events from around the world that cater to up to 15,000 attendees. The top 10 flow arts related channels on YouTube have collectively amassed more than 65 million views and over 300,000 subscribers. Blow prop manufacturer Flow Toys was featured on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in 2015. Where did you first learn about the flow arts? Let me know down in the comments. Next week, we'll we'll be talking specifically about fire spinning and its role in the flow arts culture, including some basic information on safety practices. Thanks for watching and enjoy the flow. Peace. Hey.
So, as you see, Mr. Drex basically pointed out some super important things throughout his description of the flow arts. And even though I am not actually all the way a part of that community, I feel like bringing belly dance and fire dance together is another aspect in which he speaks about, in which he says that people try to incentivize on throughout their community, not just monetarily, but socially. So social scores and having that social platform and being social with being creative is going to boost up the social score that we know is here within our world right now. So again, thank you so much for listening and viewing this lovely Saturday Night Live again. We're going to roll out on some credits and do some research and join in on some fun. And again, thank you guys and be safe. We're always remaining safe. Remember, never play with fire. I do not promote unsafe fire. I do not promote children who are not attendant with their parents to play with fire, and I do not promote fire dancing without a professional or without a handyman present. You must not play with fire. Also, when you're performing, be sure to have your props properly set up with, a legalized certified fireman in sight or someone who has a extinguisher just in case. Thank you, and thank you all for tuning in on another episode live in the metaverse with me, your hostess, ShivaLeela Allen, presenting to you SNL Let's Talk About It 2.0. Please follow me on my social media platforms. Don't forget to join the Patreon. Patreon will allow you to have NFT access to all of the future events held by me, your hostess, ShivaLeela Allen, and the Raw DAO. So click the link in the bio to look at all of the tiers that I provide for you. Don't forget to join the spatial platform. This is the metaverse where we exhilarate culture at iDance Art House Web 3. Join the Discord as well at the Raw DAO. Be sure to also join the Wonderverse board. And if you want to be a part of any of these future expos at the Raw DAO, follow my IG at iDanceArtHouseWeb3. Follow my IG at iDanceArtHouseWeb3. Don't forget to follow the Raw DAO on IG at the_raw_DAO. Also, we have a Facebook. Follow me at ShivaLeela Allen. And we also have a Facebook for the Raw DAO. So follow the Raw DAO on Facebook, TikTok as well. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, is iDanceArtHouseWeb3. And we have a TikTok for the Raw DAO. You can also follow the Raw DAO on TikTok. Twitter is available at iDanceArtHweb3. iDanceArtHweb3. Also, we go live like you see here today on Twitch. So be sure to follow the_raw_DAO to catch all of my lives as they stream on multiple platforms at once. Be sure to also follow the YouTube at my personal YouTube for my collection and ShivaLeela Allen. You can follow my YouTube at ShivaLeela Allen. Also, don't forget to follow Raw TV because, again, they will be streaming on all platforms during our weekly events, which is super cool. And don't forget, I have these podcasts available at the end of every Saturday, free, available on my Anchor link. Please click the link in the bio. These will be the free live podcasts that you hear now, available in my link below. Don't forget to have a blessed day and just keep it moving, keep it going, and jam on out because we believe that dancing is healing and we're about NFT healing, culture, and dance. I do not own the rights to the music that you hear in this recording. Thank you. Peace and blessings. Okay. So you're gonna try to scan it again? Oh yes, absolutely. So I know that they're there because I actually collected one myself, so that's the one you see. But I'm gonna definitely get that working. Right. I'm gonna just yep. I appreciate it. And I'm always, thinking about what type of content I want to post. Would it be informal? Is it something new or is it, something that we're refreshing up on? And I'm just all about innovating. And even if I'm learning something, I'm teaching everybody else. So as we learn together, it's even better. Like I said, this was a premiere. So like I used to post my videos up as premieres on YouTube only. And so doing it here, I will be able to have that proof of concept within the metaverse, not just, 2.0. So now it's like, okay, Web3. And that was the vision. And it was just so simple, but it took me just kind of like using the things that I already knew, nothing hard. Um, and yeah, the premiere is just like the highlight, but the educational part is the gym because, okay, anybody could play with fire, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are you doing that's so special? And I always make sure that I'm not just trying to shine. I'm like letting everybody else shine, like by giving them a little background on this, a little background on that, giving them a little foundation as to why I do it. Um, and I do it for a reason, like it's deep. But again, it's like from surface level, we're here right now and it's exciting. You probably hear my little one in the back, but we've gotten already into a flow, and that's why I picked the video flow arts. Like the flow arts is really like almost a lifestyle, and it's no wonder I've led myself to that because these people are like living in bliss. They might have things they're going through, but when you look at a person that's within the flow arts, they just be moving so gracefully. They have no care in the world, and that's what I always try to implement is being in that childlike energy. Um, And I believe, again, being a woman, a feminine energy, like it's important to uphold that um, in everything that we do, and within the metaverse, especially because this is not just for fun. I try to emphasize that, but this is like, I'm an educator. Like, I take it serious. Like, what I teach is something that I've read or something that I will teach my little one. And I take it serious. Like, so these videos and you being here documenting, and it's super deep, special. I'm sure someone is going to pick up on it and do more research for themselves, because I'm just throwing gems out there. Like, it's not really like a whole hour lecture. And who knows, what I'm saying, that could possibly be something done in the future. But like my husband be saying, like, he's a Capricorn, so he is grounded. He takes his time and he sticks with things for a very long time. And that's what I'm implementing, is sticking with things, because the Aries energy got me like, I have so many ideas. How can I put it in one? How can I make it all mesh together and flow? And I'm doing it here, um, despite where we are in society. And it's also a part of that social credit score thing, because like, I was talking about it with my husband. I was like, you know what? I think I go so hard because I'm making up for like the time that I wasted, and it's okay to feel like that, like, but it's like, what is the limit of going hard? Like, when is that point to where you like, okay, I went hard, I made it, like, give yourself a pat on the back. And I'm already like, I've felt that energy when I realized I wake up every day happy. I'm smiling, like, I'm like, wow, not a lot of people can do that. Not a lot of people can wake up smiling and just ready for the day. And I was like, I get it now. I must have balance to feel the flow. And it's all about that balance, because you can have an upset day, but how could you balance and appreciate it and have the gratitude? Like, look, it's just a feeling right now. Let me get back to business. Mind you, Mo, I got my last wisdom tooth pulled out today, but I'm talking because it's the fourth one. I'm done. I've paid my dues. Like, it was tough, but we learn, and so now I know not to make those types of mistakes and to postpone, and what I'm saying, like procrastination, and like, what I'm saying, so little things like that. Me still talking, and I just had surgery. Like, yeah, I'm about the flow. And, I'm just glad that you're here. And I want to be attending more things with you guys. So for Christmas, I wish for another laptop. Like, what I'm saying? So I could have that peace of mind. So when I get in the metaverse, I don't have my phone dying. So, especially, we're going to get into some discussions. And I appreciate you and your family sticking with it. And I appreciate me being with the network for like, during this, like, anniversary. I keep telling you, like, 3 months, I think. So it's holding accountability for each and everybody else that's a part of the network. Like, I love it. And make sure we get them calendars, them schedules in. I'm about to be posting that calendar soon.
I completely agree. You know, sorry, I'm echoing. I completely agree. Like, just let it flow. Like, we got our Discord. We have a flow. So, there's no rush. I kind of have some of the dates from last month because I know that it's always going to be a weekly thing with some of us. So that I can do, and I'll just input the rest of the stuff and then send it off to the CMO team and get it confirmed. And boom, we have December, and then we can get started with January. Hey, right. You know what? I was trying to get out of that. I'm just kidding. No, let's do it. Okay, I'm walking over there. So, if you're listening, I'm in the metaverse and I'm in my art gallery. And this section I kind of dedicated to Africa, my heritage, Nigeria. And so let's break down what you see here. All right. So the first one here is the one that you may see everywhere where I'm standing. This is the first NFT I minted. And this is a part of a collection. And I know others may have interest on how to pronounce it, but give me a second. And there's a whole concept behind this NFT collection. And so the proper way to pronounce this collection is Ali La Visa. Ali La Visa. And quoted life, AI powered by four. This is self portraits of my cosmic collection because this is only one of nine with 66 in total digital um, photos. And I'm reading from my Patreon because I always post all of my information on Patreon for my Patreon members first. And it has my OpenSea collection. And so that offer is at 444 Ethereum. And let's break down what that means. So Aliva, Alila Visa is ShivaLeela spelled backwards. And I could have picked a different name, but I felt this one was going to be best fit. Why? Because when you pronounce a word backwards, it gives off a different vibration. And I wanted to give off a different vibration than Shiva Leela. I've had Shiva Leela that name, and I was given that name by a guru, a real monk. So it's special to me, and I never want to denounce it, but in a way, I am just figuring out how to reinvent myself, and I'm always reinventing myself. And so the name fits. Um, and it also means the divine servant of Shiva. And so that's a whole nother lesson because Shiva is the most humblest servant of Lord Krishna. And these individuals study and practice some of the basic things that we do. They eat vegetarian, vegan, and they study some of the Sanskrit word. Um, they do food for life events, and they also have lectures. And so most of my time was listening to lots of lectures from people all over the world, men, women, bona fide gurus that have studied all over the world again. So that name means a lot for me. And it is powered by four. So when you add all of those letters together, it is a total of four. My life path is not four, but this name gives off the vibration of four. perfect for me reinventing myself. This was the image I liked because it was different, and the image was actually AI inspired. I went to a wedding, and the wedding I was invited to, me and my husband, we were invited, and I kind of knew about this wedding, but I never put two and two together until just maybe today. It was a straight up African wedding, um, right in the middle of Georgia. And so the family came together and they were coming out from all over, all different parts of Africa. This is me just reconciling what happened. I haven't been to Africa just yet. And so I'm at this wedding and I'm like, I'm in Africa. This is it. This is the vibration. And this was why I chose these images to recreate um, in the AI, like intelligent, like I'm intelligent. I feel like I'm more intelligent than the artificial intelligence, but that's another story. And so this is just to blockchain that experience. Not only did I call Africa to me, it was like I wanted to create an NFT behind that, but I didn't know how. I didn't want to give off the wrong ideas. So again, it was just like, man, when I got these images and I was looking at them, I was like, no, I'm not really like I just meant my events. But it's like that's me always second guessing. And I felt like this was a moment to have everybody see the power in what I have, the power in me, the power in what I manifest. Because, like I said, I already knew I was going to be creating an NFT around Africa. This literally was the section for that. And I'm like, yeah. So behind you is a reddish one, and this one doesn't exactly exude me, but the power behind it, the red, um, again, is cosmic red, Aries energy. And I feel like the eyes give a different energy. Like my eyes don't look like that. But again, you're getting a different taste of me. 10 different tastes right here in this gallery. And so we can move down. I'm gonna move down to this one behind you, Mo. And I actually did add in the artist who recreated or reconstructed these beautiful, lovely sculptures from Nigeria. And so I'm looking at this one here, the gold one. Again, they're all inspired by this powerful energy that I just, I couldn't help it. I was like, look, I didn't really even post the experience, but this is the experience. I don't have to really say much about that wedding. It was just so amazing. Um, the meeting and greeting, the handshaking, the networking, just being in the same space as the elders. There's a lot of elders there, so I'm like, yeah, this is it. I just was like absorbing that energy, and these NFTs to me depict that. Period. Like all different kind, and I have other collections. So this is not it. This is just the self portrait that I wanted to start off with. Want to, I didn't want to do too much on them. But you can see it doesn't really look like me in the flesh. It's that idea that, okay, each one of these portraits is a talent, and each one of them means something, and each one of them mean a talent. Which talent is that? Is 10 of them. I can choose whichever ones that is. And that's why I try to emphasize when we are posting online, you know, blockchain it, period. You find something amazing, you find something that you hold dear to you, blockchain it. And then you can figure out what you're going to do with it later. But I don't waste time with these types of things. Like, to me, I created this. This was generated by me, and that's the whole argument with AI. And so I have no problem with AI. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Absolutely. And thank you for asking for me to show off this collection. You know, because when we get to a certain point, we start to just look over some things, and it's like, okay, no, people want to know what this is. Break it down. So that's another part of me that I need to work on is, like holding people's hand. Like just because I know something don't mean that other people know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So really just being that educator for real. And I'm learning for the best. I'm always learning from the best for sure, Mo. I appreciate it. And again, I met an amazing young woman. Just kind of want to put that out there. I've been following her since she was crowned, and she's I guess she was crowned Miss Sierra Vista. I don't know what you would say, like when girls are crowned after the city, but she is melanated, and I was just like, yes, like I finally met her. And I'm a community person, but I'm also very introverted. So I meditated on that for a minute. Like it's like meeting Michelle Obama, like someone who is doing something positive for your community that you live in. And so I had to meet her, and I got to meet her last night, and she just loved my little one because my little one is super energetic, and she took on to her, and they even posted them on the community page, like LA Weekly, like some stuff like that. And so my city's not that big, but I said, look at that. Look at this prodigy. Look at these prodigies. Like, I'm for it. Oh, yes. And I'm live. So I'm going to cut the live now because that was an awesome breakdown of this gallery. Um, and we're going to be back here next week for sure.